Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, osia dem yopo.
You are welcome to PENDREAM TV, the only channel that brings you the best in politics and latest updates. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, like, and also share for other new members to watch. Thank you. With the just ended district assembly election, which Pratt has also added it, were saying he's completely amazed with the competency the EC has shown during it and how it is going to be during the 2024 election. And he said we are going to resist anybody that will come with any tactics that is different from the EC's way of doing things, and they are ready to resist them. And so they should allow the people to speak through power and not their tactics to win their election. Without much ado, let's listen to the details of what he said himself. Thank you.
Let me come to Mr. Pratt.
Well, the Electoral Commission had an opportunity to prove its competence only a couple of weeks ago when it supervised the district level elections. And I'm amazed, completely amazed, about the level of incompetence which was displayed in that election. And no doubt, if that level of incompetence is demonstrated in the elections in 2024, I cannot imagine what will happen. This is level elections. It was on the day of the elections. In some places, 3 hours into the elections, that the Electoral Commission finally announced that the elections could not be held in parts of the Eastern region and parts of the Ashanti region. Unbelievable. In places like Enyan Dentra, the election materials got to the polling stations after 9, almost 10 o'clock. Why? In other places, there had been transposition of the positions of the candidates. Somebody went and balloted for the first slot. When the ballot papers were printed, he was third, and so on. Just total mess. So when I look at the district level elections, it doesn't give me any confidence that the Electoral Commission has the competence to run a successful presidential and parliamentary elections in 2024. But it gets worse. You have a commission supervising an election, and some of its members actually go out to campaign against other political parties. And you remember that commissioner who went out and said that as far as he's concerned, the National Democratic Congress is a threat to Ghana's democracy. I mean, ab initio, this guy loses the legitimacy for getting involved in the elections. But he's still sitting there. And it gets worse. Recent appointments to the commission included a guy who is a self-confessed card-bearing member of the governing party. Not just that, he was part of the communications team of the governing party. How can anybody expect free and fair elections? And in spite of protests, from religious organizations, from political parties and so on, he is still there at his post. Unbelievable. I mean, you can't believe what is happening. Okay, so we are going into 2024 elections with all of this baggage. Now, in the 2020 elections, there are some things which happened which also just simply defy logic. You have the Electoral Commission announcing presidential results which were in excess of 100% of registered voters. Clear impossibility. Okay. Now, how was the elections declared? On a piece of paper not a letterhead, without signature. This is the level of competence for electoral commission. So I'm so very deeply worried about what may happen in 2024. And I think that all of us want to ensure that the 2024 elections are clean, they are fair. You understand? That's what all of us would like. Now, how do we get there? Some of the political parties have actually said that they will use every legitimate means, any and every legitimate means to protect the ballots. And there are those who have raised alarm and said these political parties are preaching violence, they are likely to disrupt the elections and so on. I urge those who have that view to take the 1992 Constitution and read it over and over again. The 1992 Constitution states very clearly that every Ghanaian has a responsibility to use any means possible, including violence, to protect the Constitution. And that we should not tolerate infractions of the Constitution under any circumstance. That's part of the Constitution that all the parties say they want to protect. Now, rigging an election, is it not a violation of the Constitution? That's a principal violation of the Constitution. I mean, the people's mandate, it's so very important, you understand? I mean, if you steal an election, if you rig an election, you are actually subverting the sovereign will of our people. And the Constitution itself is very clear on what measures we need to take in order to protect the Constitution. I hope we don't get there. I hope we don't get there. I hope we never get there. I hope we don't get to the situation where we will have to deploy all necessary means in order to ensure that the people's will prevail. But if we are pushed there, if the country is pushed there, my brother, what can I do? What can I say? Ghana is not different from any other country. And you know the crisis which has befallen many countries, including some of the countries in our sub-region, as a result of election rigging or attempts to rig elections. I hope we don't get there. And then sometimes I hear some of the politicians and I get very deeply worried. Yes, on the politicians, they say that, oh, we know that things are very bad, but we are going to deploy tactics to win the elections. What are they telling us? They're admitting that they know. I mean, when they say that they know that things are very bad, what does it mean? It means that they expect that the people will vote against them. So when they say that they're going to deploy tactics in order to win the elections, what are they saying? What are those tactics? How are they going to deploy those tactics in order to win the elections? Please, those who are dreaming dreams of using tactics to win elections and so on, they should be careful. The only way to win elections legitimately is to allow people to vote freely, make their choices, put papers in the ballot box, for the papers to be counted to reflect who has genuinely won the election. Any other tactics which is used in winning elections is illegal, is illegitimate, and it should be resisted. Finish.
Thank you very much. I have some messages, but let's finally look at our last topic. I think we have enough time to do that. The new Patriotic Party on 27th of January, they will be electing parliamentary candidates in I think they've done the orphan constituencies already. So
sometimes it's okay to read messages in between.
Right. I've received a number of them on WhatsApp. I think it's loading. So once it's done, I'll proceed to read that. But there are NPP MPs that are bowing out. A few of them, Chairman Sabunsu, we know, the Member of Parliament for the Swame constituency, Joe Oseusu, Bekwai, Atachiam, Ibuakwa South, Joe Gate, Sikado Ketan, Kennedy Japan, Asin Central, Dan Boche, Kwesi Amakwata, Itiwa West, Dr. Kwekwe Free, especially also, Emmanuel Mafo, Furikrum, Benito Usubio, Etriman Wabiaje North, Carlos Ahenkra, Tema West, Nana Kwesi Ajay Boating, New Drabeng North, William Oreku Edu, Johnson Edu, Ahafuano South, Francis Menua Dabo, Ahafuano South East, Suleiman Sanid, Ahafuano North, Kojokum Ahanta West, and then finally Francisca Oting, that is Kwabri East. So these are the MPs that won't be part of the 9th Parliament. They have voluntarily bowed out of the race. But what does Elvis Botta make of this race particularly? Already, Comrade Pratt has predicted that a few of them are going to fall in the primaries.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate your time. If you have any comments, you can channel it to our WhatsApp number, which is 0277-128-777. And our team will meet you on one-on-one for a better discussion. Thank you.
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.